It gives you all kind. You need a lot of stuff. If you need a lot of stuff if you are on the road. Hi, my name's Hannah, and this was our first year homeschooling with the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. Just to give you a little bit of background, my daughter was going into 4th grade for homeschool. This was her first year homeschooling, and we decided on this curriculum because of a few great things that I would like to share very quickly with you. First, I want to say that I love these videos. I hope you find this very helpful. When people explain why they chose a specific type of curriculum and how they felt about it. So I've watched a lot of these types of videos, and I find it really helpful. The Good and the Beautiful curriculum is an all-inclusive curriculum. If you buy it, if you physically want all of the books, it's going to run you anywhere from like over $200 to maybe like $300. I know this stuff for this year costs us about $250. So affordable, yes. For some, maybe not, but you can print it out if you go to their website. I don't know if you can print out math. But anyways, this is a no prep for the most part. I was able to review stuff before the next school day in less than 10 minutes to give myself a good idea of what my daughter was learning that day. Sometimes it's good to do that because, like in the language arts, they'll throw in like in this case, they had art and it's pastels. So you got to make sure, you know, stuff's out, it's prepped, it's ready to go. Or you don't have to, but if you're in the car and you say, okay, let's do lesson 30 and it's pastel day, that's not happening in the car. Could you always do lesson 31? Yes, you know what I mean. Okay, one thing that I did not like about this curriculum was the marine biology. So a science unit that my daughter picked out was marine biology. It's a K through 8. I believe it comes in a huge, like 1-inch pack of papers. Okay, it's wonderful. It's nicely laid out. And it comes, well, if you want to pay for it, you can get the student journal. And there are about 12 units in here, 12 to 14, I believe, and you have to prep. And I found that I would read the lesson plan and the instructions and what was happening for that lesson. I had a really hard time with it. And if this were on a teacher's desk in public school, I'm a public school teacher, or was, and this is part of a substitute plan, I would be scratching my head. I wouldn't know what to do. I felt really silly. I had no idea sometimes what the lesson wanted me to specifically do. And I felt like sometimes they were missing parts of it. So did we improvise? For sure. Yes, but you do have to prep for it. There are some great things. My daughter loved learning about like the ocean currents and stuff like that. But it gives you all kind. You need a lot of stuff. You need a lot of stuff if you are on the road or camping, that kind of family. This will work, but man, you've got to prep. Okay, so we like that. We got the handwriting. She wasn't really into handwriting. She's a little advanced for level 4, but that's fine. The math was great. She was spot on with her placement test, and she went through this wonderfully. She struggled. She had great lessons, but for the most part, there are a couple areas in math that were really able to focus on that she needed some extra help. What I do like about the math is that it goes over a lot of stuff, of course. But like, for example, area, you're not going to have like 5 lessons in a row about area and then poof, you're not going to go back to it until the unit test. It goes through, you learn about area one day, and then maybe in a week and a half, you learn it again, or, you know, in 7 lessons, there it is again. So it's constantly reintroducing, making sure that you don't forget. That is on the flip side, through the parent's perspective or whoever's facilitating this for the child, if they are struggling with an area, like area, it's really hard to go back and say, okay, here's where you learned it. Let's take a look and go back through about how we are to do area. It's a little difficult, okay? So I feel like even though it shares with you in the beginning the table of contents, and as you can see, you can tell where we struggled because I had to highlight some of the lessons. I went back and my husband went back too, and we're like, but where does it teach you this specific like concept? So we did struggle with that one. So it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's right up there. So anyways, we really liked that. She liked the math, no complaints for the most part. Anyway, on to language arts. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our public school experience just to give you an idea. I did a placement test for my third grader at the time in March. She was in public school. She had been through up to third grade. And we did the placement test, and I was surprised that she came out with level 4 because she, on a lot of her tests and in school in general, she is advanced. She was in an advanced reading group, and she was pretty much off the charts on the next grade level for language arts. But she tested for level 4, so I gave her level 4. We quickly found out that she was not indeed a level 4. She was a level 5. But we went through it. It's okay. She didn't struggle, but she was bored for sure. So she struggled with the boredom. I do wish that level 4 did have a little bit more long form writing, maybe introduce some poetry or whatever, you know, and some of those concepts. They have, so if your child is at grade level, this is great. There are no complaints. They did a wonderful job with level 4. It just wasn't for my child. The bonus words here that are all circled here, the ones that aren't, I knew she knew how to spell, and I tested her on that quickly. But we went through we didn't do any of this stuff. We went through all of the bonus words probably by the end of October. She was done. She's very good in language arts. It's just her strong point. So we were done with that. This spelling and writing workshop book goes along with the level 4 course book. She didn't really like this, and I think it's because she was bored. However, I like a lot of it. As the parent looking at it, this is great. It goes through a lot of the, you know, rules and spelling, etc. But if you were to watch my child do this, you'd be like, oh, this is really easy for her. The actual language arts book is great. She learned about different countries. She learned some art skills. You need pastels for level 4, at least for right now, until they change that. My daughter liked that at the beginning, and then I let her pick and choose what she wanted to do. But it did incorporate a lot of other things like geography. It was a great, well-rounded curriculum for language arts. So all in all, this is a great curriculum. The books that went along with the language arts are great. They're really cute. History level 1, if you have multiple children, even like preschool all the way up to 7th grade or beyond, you can do that as a family. History is, in my opinion, is not meant for like a car ride. You really need to be at home, whether you're in the living room, in your homeschool room, or at the table for that history lesson. You can do it without a computer. However, there are some, I think it's called some audios. My daughter loved those. So when we were home, we did those. And we are still working through history. We're taking it slowly, which is great. So I hope you enjoyed this quick review of Good and Beautiful. It was great, and we are continuing to do it next year. Take care.